Hi everyone, welcome to JustFeg Network TV, a place where you can get the latest information on things happening around the world, and you are in the right place. Please click the red subscribe button and also press the bell icon next to it so you can be notified for an update on any published news. Fresh facts emerged on Saturday that Herdsmen have converted the Ondo government reserve located in the Odigbo local government area into a militia camp. This indication buttressed the widespread claim that killers of Mrs. Funke Olakunrin, 58 years old, of the leaders of Pan-Yoruba Socio-Cultural Organization Afenifere, Chief Reuben Fashoranti, were herdsmen who sneaked out of the reserve to rain bullets on the vehicle she was traveling in. Olakunrin was killed on Friday as the gunmen ambushed vehicle on the highway and abducted some commuter. Ahmed reported sustained some gunshot injury during the attack. Killers of Fashoranti's daughters have their base in the forest, says villagers. A former senator who represented Ondo South Senatorial District at the Senate, Boluwaji Kunlere, said hoodlums had been operating around where Olakunrin was killed for a long time. He said this is an interview with one of the correspondents in Lagos on Saturday. Kunlere said, "I built up security in the area when I was in the Senate. I gave 13 Hewlett vans to the police divisions in Ondo State Senatorial District and gave motorcycles to the Department of State Service for surveillance. I think the police do not have the manpower to ensure adequate security in the area. The expressway is where the major problem is. The spot where they killed Baba Fashoranti's daughter falls between Odigbo and Okitipupa local government territory." The people living close to the area said Fulani herdsmen had been taking over that area, and there was a time a bishop was adopted and the police rescued him in that area. Herdsmen are all over the forest. We see them between Omotosho and Igbo Tako. They graze their cows and the road and strike, and they run back to the bush. They have been operating there for long, but the attack on Baba Fashoranti's daughter was given a wide publicity because of the man's influence. The downtrodden have been suffering there for long. There was a time that they have exchanged gunfire with the police between Omotosho and Ore in the afternoon, and they ran away when they discovered that the police would overpower them. When they attacked Chief Olu Faleyin farm then, the police said it was bush burning because of the fear of Abuja. They want to attribute this killing to armed robber, but the locals are saying the killers are herdsmen. Some residents of Kajola town in the Odigbo Council area who spoke with Sunday Punch insisted that some Fulani herdsmen terrorizing the area were residing in the forest in the area. One of the residents, identified only as Mr. Ola, said the herdsmen behaved as if they were above the law, adding that it was not the first time they would perpetrate the act in the area. He said they destroy our farms at wheels. Their cows always eat up many of our farm products. We have reported several times to the police, but no action was taken. We heard gunshots yesterday, and it is common things in the area. We call on the government to provide adequate security to protect our lives and properties." Also, a farmer in Kajola village who gave his name only as Mr. Aliu also said bandits had invaded forests surrounding the village. He said there had been many criminal activities going on in the forest and nobody stopped them. Aliu said the herdsmen that struck on the expressway yesterday, which is on Friday, stayed in the forest around the area. That is not their first time, and that is how they operate. We have reported to security agents, but nothing has been done with it. We are helpless. Government should come to our aid. Another resident who speak on conditions of anonymity also reiterates that the reserve in the Odigbo Council area had been inhabited for long by herdsmen. He said though the reserve belonged to the government, community members now use the place for farming. The resident, who is a prominent member of the National Association of Odigbo Local Government Students, said Herdsmen rampage started in the area at the same time it became rampant in the country. He said villagers are aware of the activities of herdsmen in the area. There was a time herdsmen cut the wrist of the farmers who confronted them when they took their cows for grazing on his farm. The DPO of Ore police station intervened in the matter and spoke with members of the community. The vigilante have had to confront them many times. The vigilante later constructed a shed in the community and take turns to ensure security in the area. This is a development that is known to peoples in the community. However, the Ondo state government has denied that some killers herdsmen has taken over its forest reserve. The Commissioner of Information, Mr. Donald Ojogo, said the government has invested much on the security in the state. He added that though intelligence reports could not be revealed to the public, government investment on security had been yielding good results. He said, "It is not a thing of excitement for the government to divulge to the public measures being put in place to tackle this menace. There are no killer herdsmen residing in our forest reserve. As you know, insecurity is almost a nationwide issue that requires everything to curb it. On our part in Ondo State, a lot of investment have been made in this regard. At the same time, such are not for the public. It will, therefore, be unfair for anyone to conclude that nothing has been done to checkmate the menace. As you are aware, we have our limitations, but those limitations will not be allowed to discourage us from doing what is appropriate at all times." Also speaking, the state commissioners of the police, Undi Adie, said he was not aware of gunmen in the state. He urged residents to provide useful tips on the gunmen and their activities, promising to act on them immediately. Adie said, "The person with that information should make it available to me right away. We appreciate useful information from anywhere it comes, once it is credible. We would act on it." On her part, the chairman caretaker committee of the Odigbo Council, Mrs. Margaret Akinshuroju, said she was new in the local government but ready to assist security agents in their effort to make the local government free of bandits. She said, "I'm just 2 weeks in the council. I'm not aware of bandits taking over our forest reserve, but as I speak to you, the security agents are working tirelessly to flush criminals out of the area. I would like the traditional rulers and the people to support them by giving them useful information that will lead to the arrest of the bandits." The Inspector General of Police, Muhammadu Adamu, has deployed special forces to hunt down the killers of Olakunrin. It disclosed that Ondo State Police Command, backed up by special forces and seasoned investigator from the 1st Criminal Investigation Department, the Intelligence Response Team, and the Technical Intelligence Unit deployed from the Force Headquarters, Abuja, had already commenced a massive manhunt for the hoodlums. The IG, who announced this in a statement in Abuja on Saturday by the Force spokesman, Frank Umba, revealed that he had also ordered the total overhaul of security architecture on the highway in the southern part of the country as part of measures to prevent a future occurrence of such incidents. The IG spoke just as some youth staged a peaceful protest on the premises of Ashoretis Akure's home on Saturday over the killing. The IG gave the assurance that the Olakunrin's killers will certainly be found and made to face the full wrath of the law. The statement read in part, "In this vein, the commissioners of police in the affected states were ordered by the IG to embrace adequate security arrangements in their areas of jurisdiction." The Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò for Yoruba land, Gani Adams, said the Yoruba nation had been pushed to the wall by the killers' herdsmen, who itself invaded the southwest. Adams, who is also the leader of the Oodua People's Congress, said in a statement on Saturday that the time had come to react, saying they should not be blamed by the time they start reacting in their own way. The Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò said Yoruba race is not at a loss as to what to do to put a complete stop to the atrocity of the Fulani herdsmen, but we have continuously issued statements to call the attention of the entire world to the development in the peaceful Southwest. We only want the whole world to know what has been done and being done to our people. They should be aware of the actions that preceded our reaction when it eventually comes. We are not bereaved of ideas on how to stop the criminality on our land. It is just that we should not be blamed when the reaction comes. We are like the proverbial goat that is being chased. When it gets to the wall, it will certainly react. We are at that stage now. Meanwhile, the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, former President Olusegun Obasanjo and Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi have called for an end to insecurity in the land. They spoke in the separate statement in reaction to the killing. The Oni said security, lives and properties of Nigeria is the primary responsibility of the government. What is happening to us in Yoruba land at the moment, if not urgently curtailed by the government, may force our people to come with communal security approach, which may not haggle well with the unity of this country, which we have always labored for. He added that it was a disgusted payback to a man like Pa Fashoreti, who continued to live his life for Nigerian stability. On his part, Obasanjo tasked security forces to fish out killers of Olakunrin and end insecurity in the nations. Obasanjo said, "This is a worrisome development in our polity, especially at a time when all well-meaning Nigeria are preaching tolerance and political accommodation in national politics. I must say, Nigeria as a whole is diminished by the manners of Funke's death. We deploy this dastardly art and seize this opportunity to call on government at all levels to leave no stone unturned in ensuring that our security agents vigorously pursue and find the perpetrator of such heinous crime and make them face the full weight of the law. We must together find a solution to all acts of insecurity in the country, particularly acts of banditry, kidnapping, robbery, killing by the suspected Fulani herdsmen." Fayemi condemned the criminal act, saying there was the need for urgent action against the incessant cases of insecurity in the Southwest. He described the incident as a tragedy of immense proportions. He said that the Fayemi government will be called upon to do something urgently about the insecurity challenge in the country. The governor said, "I know Mrs. Olakunrin very well. As a matter of fact, she was with me 3 days ago before heading back to Lagos. It is a personal loss and tragic situation for us, and we all are on it a duty to tackle this issue headlong to rescue our people from the situation." The Pan-Niger Delta Elders Forum has described the continued attack on Nigeria by Fulani herdsmen as an attempt to break up Nigeria. The National Secretary of PANDEF, Mr. Alfred Mulade, in a statement on Saturday, said the killing of Olakunrin was callous and barbaric, adding that it was more disturbing to note that the onslaught by the elders against law-abiding citizens of Nigeria had become a daily occurrence. Also, in a separate statement, IYC President Eric Omari observed that suspected Fulani kidnappers had taken over the Benin-Ore Expressway, adding that security agency had kept mute while the onslaught by the herdsmen continued unabated. "This is one death too many, and we say enough is enough. It is on record that for many months, suspected Fulani kidnappers have eventually taken over the Benin to Lagos road, and many persons have been victims of their activities." Beside the Yoruba Unity Forum and the Afenifere Renewal group commiserate with Fashoreti while condemning the killing of his daughter. The ARJ challenged the Southwest governors to rise up to the occasion of securing the region, saying it will now seem that the central government, clinging to central policing, has failed woefully in providing Nigerians with the needed security. ARG's national chairman Olawale Osun and the assistant national publicity secretary Michael Ogungbemi spoke in separate statements on a Saturday. The ARG statement read in part, President Muhammadu Buhari government treatment of the murderous excessive of Herdsmen with kid glove is enough fillip for their continued killing of innocent souls, especially in places opposed to their archaic, backward and crude method of pastoralism. According to the YUF, it felt that, and rightly so too, that President Buhari continued emotional attachment to his folks, the Fulanings, to the detriment of the rest of the country, is already the fuel for the eventual arson of the whole country if unchecked. Youth under the auspices of Ondo State Youth Network, who protested against the killing of Ashorete's home when the dignitaries came on condolence visit, urged the security forces to apprehend the killers, carrying placards with inscriptions such as "Enough of this killing." Akeredolu must act now. Every human life matters. This killing must stop. Governor Akeredolu, do something, the youth chanted solidarity song. One of the leaders of the group, Tuyi Akintade, said the government must act decisively against the killing and kidnapping by the herdsmen in the state. Oke Olasende, and aiders to the late Olakunrin, said his boss might have lived if not for the delay they encountered in taking her to the hospital. Oke said the people, bandits, were about 20 in numbers. They shot at our vehicle as we were about reversing the vehicle. They shot Mommy Olakunrin. When the policemen came, we begged them to assist us in taking her to the hospital, but one of them asked us to bring 1,000 naira for them to fuel their vehicle. Maybe if we had got to the hospital on time, she would have survived it. Because she lost a lot of blood, she died when she got to the hospital. The Dekes drivers, Mr. Tayo Ogundare, said the attackers wore masks as they attacked them. He said, we were on our way to Lagos, but some minutes after the Ore toll gate, these men just rushed out from the bush and started shooting at us. I can't say exactly their numbers, but they were many. They were shooting sporadically. So Mommy asked me to reverse, but they kept shooting at our vehicle. As I was trying to reverse, Mommy was shot, but she did not die on the spot. She got to the hospital before she gave up the ghost. In a statement by its national secretary, Baba Utan, the group also lambasted the media for attributing the killing of the herdsmen. MACBAN also called on the police to ensure that the killers were brought to book. The statement read in part, as we express sincere hatred, condolence to the family of the deceased, we are left in a deep shock on how a section of the media, in collaboration with elements in the country that are head-bound, on using every opportunity available to them to fuel crisis as they continue the negative profiling of Fulani for their total annihilations by jumping into mischievous conclusion that she was killed by herdsmen. We strongly condemn this very unprofessional, unpatriotic, and callous news reportage pattern that have been conscripted against our people by the sections of the media. We are calling on security agencies to swing into action and unravel the perpetrator to bring them to justice in the shortest possible time. This is what we have for you today. My opinion about this is just like the government should provide a security into each state. Please kindly put your opinion at the comment section below. Thank you for listening once again.